What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Banks here, and today I want to go over how we were able to take SPY calls for over 600% and how we found those levels so that you could find levels so you can trade successfully on your own. But first, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of this educational content that we put out on a daily basis to make you a successful trader. So now, as you guys can see, every single one from our watch list hit today. Meta, AMD, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. And you may say, well, yeah, of course they hit. It was an insane day, bullish update, right? No, these hit to a T on the point exactly at these levels, to a T. But today I want to go over SPY because that's everyone's favorite. And again, we called this exactly to a T. 386.75 is exactly where it bounced today. ES 3900, that is how we found it. But before we get into this, I want to give a big shout out to the team. I mean, we absolutely destroyed today. First day hitting $1,400, $2,000, $3,200, $2,900. I mean, guys, we absolutely destroyed the day. First day here, $6,100. Guys, we breed successful, consistent traders. If you're struggling, go ahead and join the team. But now let's get into how we found this 386.75 level, right? So how I found this level today, sorry about that. How I found this level today was when I'm on SPY, I'm looking at the 5-minute. And I was looking at yesterday's level. And what was going on yesterday was we had a major resistance off of this 386.75 level. And we also had a major bounce off of it, right? So if we take a look, this 386.75, and we could see it right here, this was a major level to know. Yesterday, we had a nice rejection off of it, but we also had a nice bounce. So once this resistance now turned support, had a crazy bounce off of it and showed there was a lot of demand at this level, right? But another thing we're looking at was futures. Guys, if you're not looking at ES while you're trading SPY, please start to do so. It will help you with your levels. ES can be holding a level while SPY is kind of dipping below a certain level that you're looking at, but ES is holding and then we run up. But you're trying to get short on SPY while ES is holding, and it just turns into a mess, right? So please know ES levels while you're trading SPY. It's going to help you guys tremendously. So as we can see, this 3,900 level right here, I mean, same thing, massive bounce off of this level, right? It was showing this was a major rejection as well yesterday. And if we go back a little bit, we can also see, you know, major bounce, rejection, right? We can see that there was a lot of demand within this zone here, dating all the way back this whole entire week. So no ES, 3,900, obviously big side, big level of demand as well as resistance, which also translated to this level here on SPY, as you guys can see, 386.75. You guys saw it, we called it out on the watch. So today, this is how we found these spot. This is how I found the SPY level, was looking at the 5-minute along in conjunction with ES, right? 3,900 was a major level, which matched up with this major level on SPY at this 386.75, right? So look at ES. That's my biggest, I guess, words of wisdom to you today when you're trying to find levels on SPY. Do they coincide with a big level on ES? If so, then you have to understand that that's going to also be a big level on SPY. 3,900 was a massive level on ES. On SPY, that coincided with this 386.75, right? But it also coincided with this 5-minute, right? Looking at yesterday, it was a major resistance turn support level. Boom, boom. And today, guys, we took calls right off of this level, and these ran up over 600% today. That was it. It was really that simple. When we saw that this was holding support, we took the calls. You saw the team bank, and this is how we found those levels to take 600% on SPY. But let me give you a bonus to this video so you guys don't feel left out. Usually you only give this to my wolves, but I'm going to give this to you guys today for free. Now, if you watched any of my other videos, you know my strategy is called the BBR strategy. That is the bounce, break, reject strategy, right? Because what do stocks do? They only bounce off support, they reject resistance, and they'll either break through support or resistance. That's it. Stocks only do three things. Now, when I trade this strategy, right? You see my other videos, what do I use for it? Well, first I use levels. How did I find that 90-40 level? Pretty simple. Yesterday's high as well as pre-market high, showing that this was a big level. I knew if we broke above yesterday's high, we were going to head higher, right? And we took these for over 400% today. But beyond the level, what else do I use? I use the 200, the 13, the 48, and the 8. Now, let me just break it down real simple for you guys. Try to make this quick so you guys can go watch my other videos where I break it down in full detail. I just don't want this to be a very long video. So 200 EMA, this is going to be that blue line. How do I use the 200 EMA? Well, how I use this 200 EMA is if we're above it, bullish. If we're below it, bearish, right? Kind of like on the daily when you use the SMA, right? I use the 200 EMA the same way. If we're above it, it's going to be bullish. If we're below it, bearish, right? 48 EMA and the 13 EMA. I use this as my cross indicator. Again, if the 13, this blue line, green line crosses this red line, this green line, I'll zoom in for you guys. If this green line crosses this red line up, then that's going to be bullish. If it crosses down, going to be bearish. So you guys starting to understand, right? If things are down below certain things, obviously going to be bearish. If things are above, going to be bullish, right? Kind of goes the same with that bullish up, bearish down, right? Same thing. So we have this 200 EMA, right? We're holding above it. Good. Now we have bullish, right? It's one confluence. 13 cross the 48. We have two confluences now. And then the next thing we're looking at is yesterday's high and pre-market high. So in this strategy, one thing you need to know with stocks, if they break above the pre-market high, that is high probability it's going to head higher. If they break above and hold it as support, going to head higher. Now, if they break above pre-market high and yesterday's high, that is a very big high probability that we're going to head higher. I mean, it's showing that the high of yesterday has been broken, along with pre-market has been broken. I mean, that just shows you that there's a lot of demand there. There's a lot of buyers there. We're going to head higher. And today we had both of that, right? We broke pre-market high. We broke yesterday's high. Now, I do use a 2-minute for my entries on this strategy. So let me recap this very quickly. We were above the 200 EMA, bullish. 13 crossed the 48 here, right? Bullish. And then what happened? We broke above the pre-market high and yesterday's high, right? We broke above and held it as support. So this was my entry right here, guys. This is my entry. We called it out in Discord. We ran over 400%. So when you have all these confluences come together, right, the more you have, the higher probability setup you're going to have. So what do we have? 200 above, 13 cross the 48. We're above pre-market holding as support. We're above yesterday holding as support, right? And we're bouncing off of it, right? So we have all these things adding up to a high probability setup. Now you may ask, well, another thing also was the volume, right? Heavy buy volume coming in. So that's 5 things showing me that we're going to head, high probability we're going to head higher. Now, 8 EMA, you now ask, what do I use for the 8 EMA? Well, the 8 EMA is my trend, right? Trend is your friend until it bends. So let's take a look right here. Let me take these all off so you can clearly see this 8. The 8 EMA is your trend until it bends, right? Trend is your friend until it bends. So this 8 EMA, Once we took this entry right here, right? We took the entry right here. We could hold this, right? We'll hold this and hold runners until it breaks the trend. So the 8 EMA I'm using as my trend. Once I enter into a position, I am usually starting to sell around 20% profit. And I'll be holding runners. My runners, you can hold until this trend breaks. I mean, we look on the 5-minute, we made our entry right here, right? Entry was literally right here. And now we can hold this looking at the 5-minute until this trend breaks, right? And if you want to really hold on to something, we can look at the 15-minute as well. We could see you could hold all the way until it broke midday, right? So use the 8 EMA as your trend. Guys, I have a bunch of other videos on the strategy. I break down like in super detail. So go ahead and check those out. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you saw how I found those levels on SPY today. Remember, ES, always look at that. If there's a major level like 3,900, 4,000, where does that coincide with SPY? And if that level on SPY, what is it showing when you look at the SPY chart? I showed you on the SPY chart on the 5-minute, right? We're showing that 386.75 level was a massive, massive level, right? It was a massive support yesterday, turned into support again, which coincided with that 3,900 major demand support level on ES. That is how I found that level. And when we had that double bottom and held it as support is when we took calls for over 600%, AMD 400%. We took Meta, Google, all of them today. You saw them on the watch, absolutely hit. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Until the next video, love you guys. Mr. Banks, I am out.